So we've been talking a lot about the Minnesota Fighting Vikings safety position, even though Zimmer said that safety isn't all that important. Baloney. And the Vikings do have the best starting duo in the NFL, and Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris. Maybe Jamal Adams would be thrown there. I don't know. But also we've talked about the lack of proven depth, but you do have a lot of really interesting young up-and-coming talent. You got 6th-round pick Josh Metellus from Michigan. You have 7th-round pick Brian Cole II out of Mississippi State University. But also, do not sleep on UDFA Myles Dorn from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Let's talk about him today. So Myles Dorn, 6'2", 205 senior, former 3-star recruit from Zebulon B. Vance High School in Charlotte, North Carolina, class of 2016. Now, his father, Torrin Dorn, was a running back and then a cornerback for the Tar Heels. Back in the day. Then was a 4th-round pick in the 1990 NFL Draft, played 6 years for the Raiders and the Rams. So bloodlines, got that going on. Love to see it. I was a 3-year starter at safety for North Carolina after seeing some extensive action on special teams as a true freshman. Senior season, 2019, 83 tackles, 2 picks, broke up a career-high 6 passes and 13 starts. Was honorable mention All ACC. Nice way to cap off his career in Carolina blue. But then the disrespect is real up in this mother father, right? So snubbed by the Senior Bowl, snubbed by the Shrine Game, snubbed by the NFLPA game, snubbed by the, I'm sure there's another All-Star game, which he didn't get invited to. I was also snubbed by the Combine and didn't have a pro day due to the Rona. So, I mean, there's reasons why he went undrafted, right? And the first thing that sticks out, besides not giving the postseason love, is that he's not the fastest guy in the world. He just isn't. Not a ton of speed, even for a safety. If he was timed, he probably would have ran, in the 4.6, 4.7 range. Not twitched up. Wasn't going to be a combine wizard, which is unfortunate because Dorn's on-the-field productivity should have led to maybe a late day 3 selection if he was able to train up, put a decent 40 time on wax either at the combine or his pro day. But since it was such a weird offseason and he was snubbed, didn't get that opportunity, but I mean, that loss could be the Vikings' gain in this situation. A second thing you'll notice. So first thing you'll notice, not that fast. Second thing you'll notice, dude is always around the football making plays, which in the grand scheme of things, isn't that the most important thing? So that's what happens when you're not a plus athlete. You learn how to work smarter, not harder. Like Dorn has perfect tackling technique, great at stalking, great at the point of attack, breaking down and just really making a tackle, whether it be in the secondary or whether it be on special teams. It takes great angles in pursuit, 0 wasted movement because he can't waste any movement. Right, so it has experience playing in the box, free safety, as well as slot cornerback. Big nickel taking over for J-Ron Curse. Right. And he really does remind me of like a slightly slower, slightly larger Anton Exum, if you guys remember him. It was a 6th-round pick out of Virginia Tech in 2014. Just a well-rounded, solid tackler, not the fastest dude in the world. Was a backup safety, backup slot cornerback, and just kind of did everything well. Exum, also not the fastest dude in the world, ran a 4.58 40. But just made up for it with grit, form, determination. Got after it. I really did like Anton Exum. Also, he's the one who had that training camp fight with Treadwell, which, and as much as we like Josh Metellus, I think that he'll be an impact player. Same thing with Brian Cole II, a heavy hitter. Just because they were drafted doesn't mean that they're going to be promised a spot, right? Because I think this is going to be YOLO on the back end in terms of competition. Because Metellus and Cole were 6th and 7th round picks respectively. It's not like they're day 1 or day 2 selections. So Dorn, even as a UDFA, could show up, show out, and snatch a roster spot relatively easily, or at minimum a practice squad spot. See what happens when they run it back in 2021 and beyond. So I think the first guy is going to fall in love with Dorn is Marvin Malouf. I mean, he's going to bring this kid in. He'll do great on kick and punt coverage like he did at North Carolina, and then expand from there. Maybe he gets some reps in the secondary. Maybe he takes over once Harrison Smith retires or Anthony Harris is moving on. TBD. Like, it is completely the competition in the future at safety spots is pretty much wide open. But I always love stories like Myles Dorn. You just have overlooked players who had very solid college careers, tough as nails, ready to work, and have that chip firmly on that shoulder and just ready to get after it. It makes guys like Myles Dorn just extremely easy to root for, and he's certainly a guy to watch as training camp approaches. Hopefully that'll be training camp. End of July 28th. Come on, let's do this. But your thoughts, Myles Dorn coming out of North Carolina. Come on, raise up. love the Tar Heels. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo, plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.